time for Stardust Speedway, which bad future.
Well, not yet.
Okay, that one's actually a cool change, is to make it the bad.
The color scheme of this one is actually more based off the past of Stardust Speedway.
Or what?
Okay, so it's Act 2 is the bad future.
Is it? Oh wait,
Yeah.
they changed Act 2 to the bad future. Right.
Yeah.
Because it was the good future in the
That's a change that I actually think is kind of cool. Like, actually referencing the main mechanic of Sonic CD.
Of course, it certainly helps that they had the assets from their own rebuild of Sonic CD.
Yeah, it was probably why they probably had no problem doing it.
Just touch them up a little.
Yeah, this and Metallic Madness do the exact same sort of gimmick, because Metallic Madness is Act 2 is Bad Future as well.
That's very weird.
Actually, I think both of Metallic Madness is Bad Future.
Well, then why didn't they have a past Metallic Madness then?
Because
That's
it's
a
time to
little
move
weird,
on.
But whatever.
I think Metallic Madness Act 1, rather than being the past, is just the present of the Sonic CD level, so...
Yeah, but wasn't it present in the original game, though? Or was it
yeah.
future?
No, it was present.
It was present in the original?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because I was playing it right
no
before we
time
started
travel
recording,
gimmick,
and I totally cut you off, and I apologize. But I was on Metallic Madness, and I believe both levels were Bad Future, both acts.
Okay, well we'll see that in due time, because I know for a fact at least one of the acts was Bad Future. I wasn't sure. I don't remember if both were though.
Either that, or I have really bad short-term memory.
The interesting thing about that is I've never seen Metallic Madness Bad Future, because I've always collected the time stones.
Ooh, this guy.
Yeah.
So.
I'm good at Sonic CD, look at me.
No, I'm terrible at Sonic CD. Those special stages are just too easy.
I mean, he's not
It's like-
I
wrong,
always
so...
go for the robot
They're
generators.
too easy, and
Well-
that leads me to question why they put the exploring around to get the good
Well,
future
when you say too
mechanic in the
easy, what
game.
version of the game are you talking about? Because on Gems Collection, they're really hard, because they're a lot faster.
Oh, is that an emulation issue where they emulate
No,
without
Gems
the lag?
Collection, well, they're not hard on Gems Collection, they're just choppy. I mean, it's hard to get a handle on.
They're
it.
hard. They're
Once you've
harder, is
got a
what I
handle
mean.
on it, they're not easy. They're not exactly hard.
Is it one of those things where it runs at a higher frame rate because the processor's better on the emulator kind of thing, like overclocking Star Fox?
Something like that. But it's the
Okay, no,
PC
I
version
think-
that is
alright.
on Gems Collection, and so I think because it's
Oh,
the
okay.
GameCube and it has. This is totally baseless speculation on my end, but just because the GameCube probably has a lot more horsepower than any old Windows 95 computer back in the day, it probably just makes the stages go a lot faster.
Yeah.
But it goes without saying though. It kind of applies to all the mobile ports of the classic games, because Sonic 1 had smoother rotations for special stages, and I thought that made them harder. And Sonic 2's half pipe, I felt was a little harder in itself too, because the frames
Man,
were so good.
weren't those a trip the first time you played them? Like, I got
Yes, it was. And
I
still
got
can't
in
get
that
used to
maze
it.
and I was like, whoa, this stage is
On
destroying
the other
me.
hand, Sonic CD on the HD rebuild is way more fun.
Sonic CDs is an improvement, because I can actually complete those damn stages now. Although I say that, and I still go after the robot generators and.
I mean,
CD
why
when I
not,
play the
you
game.
know?
Well, if you're used to playing through the levels and know where they are, then fine. But I've never bothered to find most of them, because I've always just gone for the time stones, and the special stages are so easy to complete that I never bother to look for the robot generators anymore. Like, I know where the one in the first level is, and I get it out of a sake
Well, I
of
would hope you would.
obligation.
It's kind of in front of your face.
Hey, speaking of Sonic CD, here's a question. Where the hell's Amy?
Oh my god, here we go.
Yeah, why is the
You know
classic
what,
game in
Ted?
this?
Yeah, you know what? I honestly feel like I'm happy that Ray and Mighty are
It's
in
almost
the game,
like
but
Amy is an actual important character for Sonic, and Righty and Ray are just here to pander to old classic Sonic fans. Oh, what? Did I say that again? Oops, I'm sorry.
Okay, wait, no. Here is my problem with the whole let's add Amy to Sonic Mania argument. Basically, Amy's only gameplay style comes from Advance 1, and that would not work in this game. It would not.
I was basically
There
going to
is-
say the same
There
thing.
is far too much level design that involves you being able to roll and them putting stuff in your path for you to roll through.
Yeah, but to be fair though, they've learned from Advance 1 though, because Advance 2 and onward.
I'm
she's
saying
just
I'm
a
saying
pink
she
Sonic.
wouldn't work in this game just because the level design does not take Amy into account.
But why? Oh, okay, let me ask you then. Why would you base classic Amy off Advance 1, Amy?
Because it's the only gameplay style she's had. They'd have to change
And that's
her
what
up
people. That's what I would
significantly.
want anyway.
They'd
is
have to
advanced
change her up
Amy.
significantly, but here's the thing. All she has is her hammer. So, like, I came up with exactly one good idea for Amy in Sonic Mania, and that's allowing her to use her hammer to vault off of spikes so that Mighty doesn't have a monopoly on the whole I can bounce off obstacles thing, which I think would be fun to use. But I still can't get around the idea that she can't roll. So maybe they'd give her a little, just spitball in here, give her some substitute for that. Maybe she holds her hammer out in front of her while she runs. But then she'd basically be easy mode because then you don't have to roll on purpose.
Well, here's the thing, all right. And I know I get flack for saying, "Oh, Sonic Mania is pandering," and I don't. And I can understand why, because you're the people being pandered to. And,
You
Okay, I'm kidding. There, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But let me go for a second here, because
Okay, bye.
Sonic Mania is about pandering to you. I understand that, but one of my issues with it is that it's only pandering to the people who know who the hell Ray the Flying Squirrel is. Nobody knows
You're not
what.
wrong.
And honestly, that's not as many people as the Sonic fan base thinks it is. Okay, it's only saying what this game says is that you, the 30-year-old Sonic fan who knows who Ray the Flying Squirrel is and thus thinks you're better than everyone else, you are our main audience here. And
Well,
granted,
why not? Well, why can't it be a way to expose people to new characters?
because those characters don't have anything interesting.
Ted, I'm 26.
Are you saying that
Well,
Sega
now they have something interesting.
Yeah, but it's not like Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying
I see what
Squirrel
Ted
have
means.
this
Like,
storied
I see,
legacy.
I see what Ted means, because like you take a liking to Mighty or Ray specifically. It's like, oh, like I wonder what previous adventures they have, and it's like, oh, I have to go like 25 years back.
It'd be like, here's the thing, it would be like if they made Sonic Adventure Mania and then made Jet the Hawk a playable character. It'd be the same thing. It'd be like, oh, you picked Jet the Hawk to be playable, but Rouge wasn't in the original game and people were wondering about that and you just ignore her first. It's the same thing. Amy is
Rouge doesn't
not
have
only
a
the
radically
only,
different
like, Amy
gameplay
isn't
style,
playable
though.
in any good classic Sonic games. The only one she's playable in is like, what, Sonic Drift and maybe Sonic the Fighters? Like, and also she's the only female character that makes sense to put into a classic Sonic game. And it feels like they're leaving out something important just to say, hey, classic Sonic fans, you remember who Ray the Flying Squirrel is. You're special, so we're going to make him playable just for you, instead of doing something that makes sense first.
Here's my point of difficulty with the idea of classic Amy being playable. Apart from her Advance 1 playstyle, the only other characteristic she has is more obscure than Ray the fucking Flying Squirrel. That's that she's into tarot cards. She went to Little Planet because the card said so.
But I don't think, here's the thing, the Sonic Mania team is clearly very talented and they can make things work. Like, they had to invent a playstyle for Ray.
They made Mighty and Ray work, so...
Yeah, so they could make, Amy has more to work with than Ray does. They could get her to have something interesting that also
I'll
works.
give you that. Even for Mighty, they gave him a completely different playstyle than he had in the past, because who the fuck could make decent use of the wall cling in this game?
Yeah, so it's just, it's such a dumb omission, and yes, I am bitter about it, and yes, you can call me a blind hater.
It bothers
or
me.
whatever.
I'm not saying I like if they put Amy in this game.
No, I
or-
agree. I want classics. I would like classic Amy to be included in the next game. at the
I
very
want
least.
classic Amy too. I just don't think that she would work in this specific game's level
Right.
design. I would seriously pitch a bitch if she doesn't show up in Mania 2.
All right, hold on. I'm borrowing that. A bitch.
Well,
Yeah,
get in line because I borrowed it from other people.
He's pitching the bitch after all.
Yeah, like the whole issue
The,
of omitting Amy for Mighty and Ray. First of all, I'm not 30. I'm 26. Second of all, I know Lewis kind of touched on it. A lot of the level design would have to be overhauled big time. Like with Mighty and Ray, they changed some things, but not too much. The levels, they could have left them the way they were. and Mighty and Ray still would have suited them pretty well. With Amy, though...
Well, in Sonic Advance, the levels were clearly
holy
not
shit.
designed for Amy, and they still put her
Yeah.
in that game anyway.
Also, High Knuckles Chaotix final boss.
Holy shit, this is great! And he's doing the Death Egg Robot Mark II.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Death
Yeah,
Egg Robot
this-
Mark II in this game also does the Death Egg Robot.
No, the
You
Death
know
Egg
what
Robot
kids
Mark II
miss?
is in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. The,
You know
the,
what
the
kids
big
miss?
ass.
Metal Sonic Kai from Knuckles Chaotix.
Yeah.
Well, that was a much easier boss fight than actual. What the?
It also goes by much quicker.
Yeah.
That was a
Especially
much,
if you get Knuckles to do it for you.
that was a much easier boss fight than just fighting Metal Sonic. He powered up, but he actually powered
Dang.
down, which is a summary of his evolution in goddamn Sonic Heroes. Now that I think
Sonic
about it.
Heroes.
Yeah, he powered up, but he powered down.
Yeah, they powered
Also,
up
I
Amy
like the
because
3D
her gameplay
wireframe
style
of
wouldn't
the
fit.
fucking-
Oh, look, it's Hydrocity Zone.
Excuse me?
Shut up.
There's no space! There is no space! If they wanted it to be pronounced Hydro City, they'd put a space. Thank you, good night. Alright?
No.
You probably...
Yeah, I know,
nobody
but-
calls it GIF. Nobody
Okay,
calls it
okay,
GIF.
you know what?
All
There
right.
is no
That's a-
space in Ice Cap Zone, but you don't see people calling it Ica Cap.
Ice Skip.
It's not Joe
Okay,
Spiderman.
okay. I just wanna. I just like now we know why he's falling. Why wasn't there a scene like that in the original? Time constraints, I bet. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But canonically,
up.
Hydrocity Zone is supposed to be under Angel Island, so why is it underneath Stardust Speedway
Okay,
now?
listen,
It's
we
not,
can have
It's
It's the
the
Phantom
Phantom
Ruby.
Rubies.
That's why they
every
fell
fucking
into
time we're in
Hydro
this
City.
zone. But the fact of the matter is, developers called Hydro City. It's Hydro City.
No, the developers... the author can be wrong, John, alright? This
Yeah,
is...
they only made the game.
Yeah, no, John, this is...
Oh,
this is...
the author is only wrong when it applies to you, Ted.
No, this is actually a thing. The author's reading is not the most important reading of the
By the
text.
way-
This is a true thing in literature, in movies, in all sorts of
By
stuff.
the way, first
Just
of all,
because the developers said it was true doesn't mean that it is in fact
first of all, Ted, you're wrong. Second of all, Johnny, I really like your Triple H impression. You see, the thing is,
Thank you.
That
The thing is,
Ted,
What?
Ted. That kind of only refers to like the meaning of the story, not to pronunciation. I
Sure,
mean,
it can.
usually-
It can refer to anything. All right. You clearly
usually-
you are not studied in the ways of the English major bullshit. I can teach you. We
you
have
can,
the technology.
No, but look, usually when an author says something is pronounced this way, that's how it's pronounced in the audiobook. That's how it's pronounced. You know? So, I mean,
Japanese Sonic
Nah,
3 manual.
Because
I could-
here again, nobody calls it GIF. So I rest my case.
Jif's a peanut butter.
Exactly. All right, and Hydro City refers to a city that is underwater. This is not
This
a
is
city.
a city
This
that's
is-
underwater.
No, there's no buildings.
it's an
just-
ancient city.
It
Pillars
is,
and
we're
crap.
inside of a freaking building.
We're
So
talking
it's in
about the
Hydrocity is
We're
a
talking
word,
about an ancient
okay?
civilization that lived thousands of years ago. They didn't have buildings in the sense that
We're
we
not
know.
on Angel Island. Those don't exist. All right, Ken Penders will sue you for insinuating that that
Oh,
there was a city.
excuse me. I apologize, Mr. Penders.
in any case, speaking of story stuff, one of the glaring issues with the lack of transitions in the original game was that there was no explanation for how you got onto Little Planet, and then off of Little Planet, and then back on Little Planet again. You just sort of transition from Angel Island to Little Planet and back again for no.
It's like you forgot your car keys. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, look at Mighty. He's so chill being trapped in a bubble. Sonic at
Because you know
least
nothing
looks,
can hurt him.
Sonic just looks like mildly alarmed through the whole bubble riding sequence. Mighty's just like, "Pfft, been there, done that.
Bitch.
Wait, if Mighty can bounce off spikes without taking damage, can he bounce off spikes without losing the bubble shield, even though the bubble
Yes.
shield
Yeah.
technically hits first?
Yeah.
That's so meta. My insides will protect my outsides.
Because the hitbox is still the character, not the shield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So if I like
It's one of those realistically that shouldn't make sense, but game logic, it's how it is.
so if Wolverine gets an adamantine skeleton, does it prevent his skin from getting cut?
No.
That's why it needed to be Wolverine with it, because he's got...
Because Wolverine lives in the real world.
Jackman should play Mighty the Armadillo in the Sonic movie.
I just made myself really angry because I just remembered this. They called it Hydro City in Generations, and on the Japanese original soundtrack that comes with Mania, it says Hydro City on the track list. Defend yourself.
But in Sonic Mania, it's Hydrocity, which is what it actually is.
Yeah, but it's still pronounced Hydro City.
No, because there's no space. Nobody. I'm gonna say this until you go deaf. Nobody calls it GIF.
Okay, how does that exactly relate to what's going on here?
The precedent has been set, Your Honor.
No, it doesn't.
Wait, question: can Ray fly in water?
Yes.
Oh.
Excuse me. That is for a series with a fan base so obsessed with physics. They should be more upset about that than they actually are.
Oh, I'm living.
I'm sorry, it's only been 5 days. I haven't had time to get angry about it.
You sound so impassioned.
Yep, see?
What the fuck? Even Tails transitions into a fucking swimming animation. Although it seems like the physics of Ray's flying just go out the window underwater. So it's like he just forgot he shouldn't be able to fly, but the water didn't forget. Oh god, the water didn't forget.
Yeah, this boss is absolutely no different.
Still one of the best bosses of the game.
Come here,
One thing
Eggman.
I'm surprised they didn't do when it comes to bosses is make the Mean Bean Machine fight harder, though. Because I mean,
But that's what we're
Why
doing
you want
earlier.
to show off?
Because not everybody who plays. Because honestly, I hate
No,
Puyo
that's not what
Puyo
I
because I
mean.
can't set up combos.
that's not what I mean. I mean, the Puyo Puyo boss was Puyo Puyo dumb shit edition. Eggman would kill himself eventually. You just had to survive long enough. They didn't even put it on par with like stage 3 of Mean Bean Machine. It's
Yeah,
sad.
because you're playing a platformer, not a puzzle game.
Yeah, it's like for Puyo Puyo specifically, I would agree that it's probably not a good
I
idea
get
to increase the
it.
difficulty.
Like they
of
could have
that level.
amped him up just a notch though, so that he could maybe not suicide after 20 seconds.
Yeah, then at the same time though, you risk making a wall because of a gameplay style.
Well, yeah, but it's
change.
the Encore mode. If you're playing the Encore
If you know
mode,
who Ray the Flying Squirrel is, then you
No,
should probably
that's
be
not
good
what-
at Puyo Puyo. You know.
that's not what I mean. I mean, if you're playing the Encore mode, you probably played Mania mode first. You
Yeah,
know?
but here's the thing though. But just because I played it beforehand doesn't mean I want to better myself.
Because you
for-
don't.
for
I
a
guess,
second
Lewis,
round.
that would make sense, and I know we're way past the video at this point. That would make sense if the game like expected you to be good at Puyo Puyo in order to beat the game. In order, like you got better at Puyo Puyo as time goes on. So in
I'm
this
not
hard mode,
saying make him as hard as Scratch and Grounder, because even I can't beat Scratch and Grounder reliably. Hard Puyo Puyo is super fast Puyo Puyo. I just mean like Puyo Puyo that you actually have to sort of try to win, you know?
well, they should just take Puyo Puyo out because it's a terrible puzzle
Because,
game. But
well,
know.
the thing is, it's
All right.
Okay, well, either way, the moral of the story is it is pronounced Velocity.
Okay, let me just finish before we end this part, please. It's a really like out there Easter egg when you encounter it the first time, but in all subsequent playthroughs, what I've noticed about the Puyo Puyo boss is that it's basically just a time sink. You're not gonna lose, well, unless you really, really horribly
I've seen people
catastrophically
lose.
suck. It's hard to lose. It's very, very hard to lose. You have to either catastrophically suck at it, or you have to try.
Or if you've
Most
just
of the
never
time you
played
have to
Puyo Puyo before, you might not get it. You know, like if you actually hand this to a 4-year-old, if you hand the game to a 4-year-old,
All right.
Ryan, this is not even close to the longest we've gone over the part before.
I'm saying we're going in circles.
I don't. Yeah, whatever.
It's just like it loses its gameplay value when you realize it's just a time sink. Like the only value in being good at it is so that you get past it faster and get a lower time on the level, and that's it.
Okay.
Hydro City.
God, this really is FTCR.